Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this fine, bright and early Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. I'm sure you're all feeling just peppy and excited to be here. Let's go ahead and dive right into our content. We'll do introductions in a minute, but I'd like to give a little bit of a preamble if that's okay. So our story is thus. Your business is like a city, and I'm sure you've all heard many analogies of what your business is like. Maybe this one will resonate, maybe it won't. You can tell me about it afterwards if it does. But your business is comprised of infrastructure, data, and processes. Just like a city has transportation, people, and buildings, what makes your business unique is how all these things fit together and interoperate. If there's a flaw with one, it can negatively impact the rest. And that's why it's very important to think about how we manage infrastructure, data, and processes in your business and how to make the most of it. So we want to ask the question, what happens when your infrastructure resources become depleted or are tapped out? What happens when your data is unmanaged? And what happens when your processes are non-optimal? This morning, I would like to introduce you to Antenna from Teradyne, a really, really cool company. Antenna, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about Teradyne?
Yeah, my name is Antenna Mtuku, and I have been working with Teradyne for the last 19 years. And Teradyne headquarters in Boston, Massachusetts. And Teradyne is in the semiconductor industry. It manufactures and produces automated test equipments. And then recently, about 3-4 years ago, in 2015, Teradyne started acquiring these robotic companies to automate processes and then also add on automation on the day-to-day work of Teradyne. And Teradyne has about 4,500 employees, and it's a really cool place to work. Great people, great company, and great culture. We're going to be talking a little more about that later on.
Awesome, thank you. And if I could just read the quote that's on the screen. This was right from your website, which really appealed to me when we started doing some research on Teradyne. From smartphones to life-saving medical equipment, our lives today rely on electronics. That's why your customers expect the devices you create to work as promised from the first moment they're used, which is just a very impressive statement. So you said a little bit about yourself. I'll start and then I'll pass it to Alexandra here. My name is Anthony Cusimano. I am here as a solutions marketer with Veritas. Very excited to be here today and share this experience with the rest of you.
Hello. I am Alexandra Matheson, and I am also with Solutions Marketing at Veritas Technologies alongside Anthony Cusimano. And I'm really excited for all of you here because I can share some insight into not only Antenna's background in our conversation, but also Teradyne. Just to be completely frank, when Anthony and I started researching, preparing for this presentation with Antenna, there's always those realities. You know a little bit about a customer organization, but it's kind of like the piecemeal bullet point details. And as we learned more about Teradyne, what they're bringing to market, and the incredible innovation coming out of the company, we were undeniably impressed. They started in automatic testing equipment, which is interesting in and of itself, moving into semiconductors, but now robotics. So Teradyne is truly a solutions-focused company in that they're interested in meeting that unique human need of improving productivity, but more so improving the user experience. And this is something Antenna and I have had a lot of really interesting conversations about. Can you speak to me a little bit about that? Like, how is Teradyne dedicated to improving the user experience through its products?
So the first and most important thing for Teradyne is quality. Right? So everything that is done has to be with 100% quality and with perfection. And one idea that Teradyne always follows is continuously improving the process. So every day there is a way to examine each step of the process that gets done and improve it. So the quality gets improved, as the days go by, as the years go by. Since I came to Teradyne, it's amazing how everything has been transformed because of this idea. And then adding robotics, like we just talked about earlier, as part of the, the process is incredible because humans can make mistakes. And when we try to manage and run process, always it's not as effective. But robots working in collaboration with human and programmed to do repeatable and predictable redundant work, that brings a lot of quality. And I mean, we can talk, for days about this, but just to summarize.
I can talk for days and days about collaborative robotics. So cool. If just to provide a little bit of background on cobots, they are truly incredible. Cobots allow a human-robot interaction in a safe capacity. They have inbuilt sensing technologies to discern contact with a human mass, so they can effectively be integrated in a production manufacturing environment to work alongside a person who can then routinely reprogram the robot throughout a day to support different pick and place tasks, for example, truly improving the user experience. It's really exciting technology, and Teradyne is very much at the forefront. You, several years ago, acquired Universal Robots, which is a pretty awesome company, to say the least.
Yeah, that's right. This is a company that is headquarters in Denmark, and it dominates the European market in terms of robotics. Now Teradyne is, has acquired it, and there's so many cool things that are being done, from this angle of the business. And then I think in 2018, Teradyne also acquired a couple of other robotic companies, and that's expanding the market share. Right now it's about 10%, but the goal is to continue expanding it and growing on that sector of the business as well.
I would love to shift gears a little bit and share a little bit about you, Antana, because you have a really compelling background in IT. Can you share with me a little bit about your role specifically at Teradyne?
Yeah, so I joined Teradyne 19 years ago, actually in 2000. So when I joined, I started managing an operations team, and there were shifts, 3 shifts of operations team that monitors and make sure that everything is running smoothly. So I managed that team for close to 10 years. And then I joined the data protections team, and I manage the data protection for Teradyne. So every data that is in Teradyne has to be protected, obviously, because of disaster, because of recovery, because of so many challenges that we have in our day-to-day world. So I make sure that every data is protected. So that's where I am right now.
And Tina, I'd like to shift the conversation a little bit and get into some of the challenges that you're experiencing with data protection, with how the organization continued to grow and how the data with it also grew.
Yeah, so one thing about data is that it's not in one place, and it's not in one box, and it's not something that you control. Right? Data rapidly grows, as we all know. And we have 14 sites that we manage, some in Asia, some in Europe, and a lot more in the US. And as we manage our data throughout, all these regions, so always, finding a way to make it more effective and make it more manageable is our day-to-day responsibility. So, for example, we have field offices in Oregon, for example. I just give an example of that. And in that site, we have engineers who help us tape change, for example. So we do backup straight to tape. So these engineers have a lot of other responsibilities, but they are kind enough to come and help us out. And as much as they can, they come and give us their time on a day-to-day basis. But we don't want that to be the norm. So we said maybe if we find a way, to fix that problem so that we don't have to take up their time on a day-to-day basis. That would be an ideal. So we, started thinking about the cloud backup, which is Azure Cloud Backup. So we had put together do-it-your-own Catalyst server, and we put MSDP. So data comes to the MSDP through the Cloud Catalyst, and then it goes to the Azure Cloud. And that pretty much fixed the issue that we had.
So if we took a look at this slide here, the original architecture you had, just to kind of reiterate what you've said, you had multiple sites, and you were feeding them into a single backup server. But then with the ability to kind of spread out and make the most of those multiple sites, you're running into sort of bandwidth bottlenecks. And what else was happening?
Yeah, so let's say if we were to back up that field office data to the main data center, then there would be a bandwidth issue, because now we are backing up terabytes of data on a day-to-day basis from one side to another. So that's not something that would be effective for us. And then if we continue doing the same thing, which is upgrading the libraries and running it through the tape backup, then that is not the most optimal way of doing it, because we are relying on the person or the people who are in that data center doing something else other than what we want them to do. And also, these libraries, tapes break up a lot. So we have to call the field offices. Maintaining that and investing more resource on that it's not supposed to be a long-term plan, basically. So we were facing those kind of challenges.
So when you went to optimize this architecture and your infrastructure, what you did was utilize the NetBackup media server still to do the deduplication work. But then you inserted the secondary Cloud Catalyst server. And for those that might not know in the audience, NetBackup Media Server is responsible for the collection and compression of the data that gets backed up. But Cloud Catalyst allows you to take that compressed, deduplicated data and convert it from its original type into object storage, so you can effectively keep the network traffic from your on-premises data centers to the cloud as reduced and compressed as possible.
Right.
Was that your experience as well?
Yes. So, like I said earlier, let's say if we take out the MSDP pool and if we go straight to tape, then we are doing native size backup, right? There's no deduplication, there's no compression there. So that takes up a lot of your time, a lot of your resource. So it's not effective way of doing it. But when you add MSDP, basically whatever amount of footprint that you have gets compressed by up to 50% actually beyond that, maybe more. But it comes down to almost half of what you had at the front side. And then once you compress it, it comes down to close to 80%, 85%. So the Cloud Catalyst, what it does is, let's say if we were to use other, let's say third party, let's say if I were to implement a third party gateway to the cloud, once it gets deduped and compressed, it would rehydrate it back. So every saving is gone. And then if you send it to the cloud, then you are saving the native size, which would not optimal. But adding that Cloud Catalyst would allow you to keep that dedupe and compressed data and then send it to the cloud, which allows you to save a lot of space and at the same time a lot of cost from that storage.
Now I know that when you utilize Cloud Catalyst, and you can reduce tremendously by maintaining the deduplication and not having to rehydrate. Did you ever go through a restore experience?
That's right. So the site that we have implemented this technology is not a site that requires a day-to-day restore, but we had done our own tests. So we brought the data back from Azure Blob Storage back to on-prem, and it was pretty smooth.
Yes, and one of the end goals of the Cloud Catalyst appliance itself whether you're running it as a physical server or just a virtual machine in your infrastructure or natively in the cloud, you can actually basically utilize the buffer that is built into that Cloud Catalyst server. So it will automatically keep the most recent data in that buffer. So if you do have to pull back, we can always pull back in a very fast, optimized fashion where the more latent data gets stored in the cloud natively.
That's right. That's right. So, we're going to be looking into ways to, excuse me, we're going to be looking into ways to do DR from the cloud as well. We are going to study more about the Veritas Resiliency Platform. And also, bringing, the whole data back on-prem and then pushing it back there. So, I mean, the DR aspect of, the plan is going to be very robust because of this, wonderful design. And the data protection aspect of it is pretty, it's a no-brainer, You don't have to spend all that energy and all that time and taking away, time from people. And, you go away and you come back and everything is pretty smooth. And I'm really, really happy about it. I'm really happy about it. And if I may add one more point to this, about a year ago, I was in the Philippines, and one of our data center over there has also tape backup, and it's very challenging to maintain that. And then another challenge that we had was we don't have a company like Adam Mountain in the Philippines that you send your tape to. So I visited one off-site data protection site. It's really beautiful place, and I was impressed by it. But the only challenge that they have is they don't have transportation. They have everything but transportation. So I was told that I'm going to have to go and find another transportation company that would bring tapes back and forth. And the best transportation company I could find was motorbike. So sending your tape to this off-site data protection company with a motorbike is not the best ideal way of taking care of your data protection. So, we said, I think this is another best site that we can implement Azure Cloud. So we just did that, and right now the full backup is going to Azure through the Catalyst server.
For a moment there, your disaster recovery plan would have been an umbrella. That's a terrible idea, right?
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
It's never good when you have to rely on gas to get your data back.
No. That's right. That's right. No.
So as far as the future for Teradyne is concerned, I think it's evident that both Alexandra and myself are keenly cool on Teradyne.
We're fans.
We are. What is next for y'all?
Yeah, so I can say that for, let's say, data protection, I can say a little bit about that, and for overall Teradyne, I can say something. So for data protection, I think going to the cloud and object storage is the ideal way of protecting data. So that's where we're heading. We just started with a couple of sites, and we're happy about that. So slowly we are migrating towards that. And as far as the company is concerned, like we talked about earlier, company is expanding and growing. And I believe that the robotic aspect of the market is something that the company is going to grow and it's going to expand. And it's going to be day-to-day part. The robots are going to be day-to-day part of improving processes and improving quality of work, and allowing people to focus on other big tasks while they give the repeatable and predictable redundant job to the robots. I believe that's what happened.
Well, thank you, Antana. And what I would like to let the audience know is, for sitting through this panel today, you will be receiving a passport card. Be sure to pick that up before you leave, because that entitles you to get 10 tickets for our daily drawings. What I'd also like to ask is, if you're interested in Antana's story or any of the stories that Veritas can tell, please swing by our booth. Myself and many others are very happy to give live demonstrations of all of these products and show them off in real time with you. Sit down, have a conversation, have a coffee. We'd love to talk to you more about how to optimize not only data movement, but disaster recovery, insights, and more. Any last words, guys?
No, but I'd like to thank everybody for being here. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here.
Yes, thank you.